Hi, Mrs. Horning's class. I miss you guys, and I hope you guys are doing okay and you're staying healthy. We want to continue reading Out of My Mind. When we left off, Melody was just finding out if she made the quiz team or not. So let's go. Yes, she's on the team, but we'll look weird, Claire counters. Everybody will stare at us. I'm not going to have any of that kind of talk. Do you understand? Mr. D says sternly. I am very proud of Melody. I regret I underestimated her, and I'm glad to have her on our team. Earthquake report. Call the paramedics. A girl in 5th grade is about to explode. Everybody in the class turns to look at me. Catherine gives me a hug. Rose flashes me a smile, and I'll try not to kick and drip and make my teammates sorry that I'll be on the team with them. Will the Whiz Kids folks be cool with Melody? Molly asked. Mr. Deming looks thoughtful. I'll contact the quiz team officials and let them know about our special circumstances, he says. But that's no concern of yours. Now listen up. Team members will meet every day after school for 2 hours for the next 2 weeks, right up until the first competition. Practice sessions are mandatory. Here is the paperwork for your parents to read and sign. I need it back tomorrow. Earthquake report. Expect big aftershocks. Nothing like this has ever been done before. The more I think about it, the more excited I get. Television, pressure, people looking at me. I can feel myself getting tense and tight. My arms and legs start doing the tornado spastic dance. My head jerks. I try not to, but I screech just a little. Everybody turns at the sound. I can see Molly and Claire jerking their heads, kicking their legs, and making crazy noises. A few people giggle. Mr. Deming's face grows tight. I aim all my energy at my thumb and point to go. Catherine gets the message and hurries me out of there. I want to find a hole and hide in it. The next 2 weeks pass in a whirlwind. In spite of my little display of weirdness that Tuesday in class, I show up in practice on Wednesday afternoon as if nothing had happened. Maybe nothing had. I was just being me. I'm not sure what the others thought. They had said nothing about it. So like all the other team members, alternates and regulars alike, I stayed every day after school to practice from 3:30 to almost 6 o'clock. I still couldn't get over the fact that I was part of the team. Okay, truth, there was the team, and there was me. And we were in the same room, but we weren't quite a team. They appreciated the fact that I usually got the answers right, but when Mr. Deming gave us multiple choice questions to answer, I had to think for only a moment, then hit the correct letter on my machine. But lots of the preparation involved fast and furious back and forth discussions, and I had trouble adding anything to what was being said most of the time. One of the longest one-syllable words in the English language is screeched, Connor announced one afternoon as he chomped on a raspberry Twizzler. That's a good word for Melody, Claire said as she snatched his candy and took a bite. I couldn't respond, and nobody else bothered to. What do you call that dot that goes over the letter I? Elena asked the group. I knew the answer, but it took me too long to spell out the word. It's called a tittle, Amanda quickly answered. Like the brain of a 5th grader. Ooh, snap, said Rodney. I had planned to type snap when she said that too, but I was too slow. The group had already zoomed on to another question. Gee, they talk fast. Who was the first child born in the American colonies? Rose asked, reading from a huge stack of 3x5 cards in her hand. Virginia Dare, Elena answered. Okay, my turn. She flipped through her own cards, color-coded. Who was the first Miss America? That's dumb, Connor said. They're not going to ask a stupid girl question like that. You don't know the answer, Claire asked him. Of course I know, Connor replied with a snort. Margaret Gorman in 1921. She was 16 and probably looked better than you. He and Rodney were the only ones to laugh. Rodney jumped in then. I've got a nasty question. What is pediculosis? Without missing a beat, Rose answered. When you've got a scalp full of head lice? Ooh, do you know that from personal experience? Of course not. I was just looking for a hard word, Rodney told her. He and Connor didn't laugh that time. You want a hard word? I've got one, Amanda told the group. What is a hexadactylism? I think I pronounced that right. I don't know. That seemed to stump all of them for a minute, so I had time to tap on the number 6, followed by the word fingers. Then I pushed play so they could hear my answer. Good job, Melody, Elena said. How does she know all this stuff? Claire whispered to Rose. She's smart, Rose said, flipping through more cards. But she'll look odd on TV, don't you think? Claire continued as if I couldn't hear her. I was ready for her. I had typed a couple of things the night before, so all I had to do was push a button. TV makes lots of people look funny, I had the machine say. Maybe even you, Claire. Ooh, look who's got snaps now, Connor hooted. Good one, Melody. If I could have danced, I would have. But as quickly as that moment happened, it disappeared. The team zipped on to a rocket-paced speed, feeding off one another's knowledge and skill. At the rate they were going, there was no way I could jump in quick enough. I listened, however, and remembered it all. What's the only rock that floats? Pumice. How many chromosomes does a human have? 46. What was the first state to allow women to vote? Wyoming. What's Mr. Deming's first name? Wallace. We all cracked up at that. At the end of every prep question, Mr. Deming gave us another official quiz from National Headquarters. Since those always consisted of multiple choice questions, I always did well, but I wanted to be like the rest of them as we studied. One Thursday in the middle of practice session, Rose's mom ordered pizza for everyone and had it delivered to the school. Your mom rocks, Connor said. You're easy to please, Connor, Rose replied with a laugh. Everybody rushed to get the hot, spicy smelling slices from the box. I was starving like the rest of them, but I just sat there. Don't you want some pizza? Elena asked me. I'll go get a slice for you. She never said much during the practices, but she took lots of notes, and she usually scored pretty high on our practice quizzes. Not hungry. How could I explain to her that without Catherine or my mom or Mrs. V, I wasn't able to eat? I had to be fed like a baby, and I made a mess even then. When my mom came to pick me up, she asked me if I wanted to stop by Pizza Hut on the way home. I just shook my head. The day of the actual competition dawns bright and chilly. I shiver in the early March air as Mrs. V and I wait for my school bus. My jacket feels good. We've decided to use the manual chair today since the electric one, even with the car ramps, is a little too heavy for Mom to handle on her own. You ready, Mellow Yellow? Mrs. V asked me. Oh yeah. Your head feel like it's going to pop with all those facts stuck inside, she teases. Oh yeah, I grin at her. You'll do fine, better than fine. Dynamite, possibly awesome, Mrs. V says. Oh yeah, I push again. We'll all be downtown in the audience cheering you on. And the team? There are other members on the team? She asked, smacking herself on the forehead. I thought you were a solo act. And teams from other schools. Don't worry, you're smarter than all of them put together. So we'll be cheering the loudest, your mom and dad and me and Penny. Do I look okay? Mrs. V looks me up and down. Like a television star, she replies. Your mom tucked an extra blouse in your bag just in case. Catherine knows what to do. I'm glad Catherine will be going with us, and I think Mr. Deming is glad as well. Tell me the plan again. Your mom will pick you up from school, get you a bite to eat, and get you to the TV studio about 15 minutes before the rest of the contestants. Penny and your dad and I will meet you there. TV folks don't freak out when I show up. They are all well prepared for you. Actually, it's possible a few reporters might be there and want to talk to you. Me? Why? I can't imagine why any newspaper person would want to talk to somebody who can only talk through a machine. How boring. You're a wonderful human interest story. Other people might be interested to know more things about you. They won't make fun of me? Just the thought of makes my palms sweaty. Mrs. V takes my hand in hers. Not at all. They'll admire you, I'm sure. You are Spalding Street Elementary School's own personal Stephen Hawking. They're lucky. Hope so. Here's your bus. Have a great day, Melody. I'll see you tonight. I managed to get through the day without spilling anything on my clothes, and I'm relieved to see Mom when the last bell rings at school. After a quick meal of macaroni and applesauce in the car, smart Mom, nothing red, we head downtown. Alrighty, we're going to stop there, guys. I will continue the next time. See ya.